Good morning, everybody. We're just going to do a little bit of maths, and this is just looking at our area model in a little bit more detail. And it's just a little bit of help for anybody that wasn't so sure with the method yesterday. We can go over it again. Watch the video as many times as you want. Hopefully it really helps, and it's a really good way to sort of practice our techniques and our method and learn the mathematics behind it. So let's start off with a question. We're going to start off with 45 multiplied by 23. Now I've used my calculator and I've found out the answer is 1035. So we know the answer now. So we can clear that out of our minds worrying about the answer. We can just go in and look at what's actually happening in our maths here. So what I can do is we can see these two numbers. We've got 45 and we've got 23. Now I can partition those numbers. So if I take my 45, I can partition that into 40 and 5. And if I take my 23, I can partition that into 20 and 3. So I'm going to show that over here. I'm going to put 40 and 5. I'm going to draw that out. Might be a little bit bigger just in case. And I'm down the side, I am going to partition this like this. And I'm going to put my 20 and my 3. Now, if I wanted to, I can neaten that up. And you guys, of course, can use a ruler so it looks a lot neater. So, I've got my 23 multiplied by 45. Hopefully we can see now how that is partitioned. So what we can do now, using this area model, we can take our 20 and multiply that by 40. 120 multiplied by 40. Well, as we can see, I can make this 10 times smaller and this 10 times smaller. So I can do my 2 times 3, 2 times 4 is 8, and because I can make it 10 times larger is 80, then 10 times larger again, which is 800. I can do 20 multiplied by 5. Again, if I make 20 10 times smaller and have it as a 2, I can then make my answer 10 times larger. So 2 times 5 is 10, make that 10 times larger is 100. Now, I've taken my 3 and multiply that by 40. Now I can make 40 10 times smaller, but then I can make my answer 10 times larger. So 3 times 4 is 12, make that 10 times larger because it's actually 40 and not 4, and I get 120. And I can do 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. Well done if you're following there. Now, all that's left for me to do is just to add this all up. So I can take my 800, I'm going to add on 100 to that, and I'm going to get 900. So I've done these two. I've got 900. And I can take my 120 and add on 15. I can split my 15 up into 10 and 5, which is what I would do. So I would do 120, add 5, then 125, add 10. So that's 135. Now all that's left for me to do is take my 900 and add on, well, where's that gone? Take on my 900 and add these two together, because then I'm adding on 4. So 5, 3, 9 and 1 is 10. Can we see how this 1035 here is the same as this 1035 over here? So let's try again with a different number, different set of numbers. Let's go for 62 multiplied by, I don't know, 33. I can type that into my calculator. I'm just going to find the answer because I'm just learning the method at the minute, times by 33 equals, 62 times by 33 is equals 2046. So now, if I end up, when I add all of my quadrants up, so I add all those squares up, I should get 246, and I can use that to check to see if I've got the method correct. So, have a think about what I might partition my 62 into. Well done if you spotted. I can split it into 60 and 2, and I'm going to draw that in there. And what am I going to partition my 33 into? Well done if you got 30 and 3. I can join all these up. Okay. So now we're going to do 30 times 60. Now that's the same as making this 10 times smaller, 10 times smaller as well. So we can do 3 times 6 is 18. We can make it 10 times larger for our 30, and then make that answer 10 times larger for our 60. So 3 times 6 is 18, 10 times larger is 180, 10 times larger is 1,800. Wow, my pen's changed to purple. I can do my 30 multiplied by 2, so 3 multiplied by 2, and then times by 10. So 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, times by 10 is 60. Well done if you got that. 3 times 60 is the same as 3 times 6, and then made 10 times larger is 180. Now I'm going to do my 3 times 2, which is 6. Next, all I need to do is add these up. I'm going to do 1,800 add 60, so I've got 1,860, and then I've got my 180 add 6. Now you need to be really careful with this one because we've got less digits, so it's best to put our ones digit in first. Lots of people make the mistake of going 1,860 and then do 186. Now the issue is there, that is actually 1,860 again. What's really interesting that I've just noticed is really interesting is, because these are both 3s, these numbers are the same but a magnitude of 10 different. So if I made this 186 10 times larger, I would have 1,860. All I'm going to do, add these two up, 6, 8 add 6 is 14, yep. 14. 1 add 8 is of course 10. 1 add 1 is 2,046. So hopefully you're able to follow this second question as well. So what I'm going to do is, just for your practice, now you can do any number of 2-digit numbers multiplying each other. So what I would suggest, I'm going to put some columns up. Well, that's really thin, man. I'm going to put some columns up. Now, I suggest I'm going to call it column 1, column 2, and I might even do a column 3. Just for practice, I would write some 2-digit by 2-digit. So I might do 22 multiplied by 34. I'm going to do 112 times by 37. 54. Now you can do some of these, you can do your own ones if you want to. I'm just choosing these numbers because they're fairly simple in our multiplication tables. 62 multiplied by... Yeah, try column 1. If you're confident with column 1, then have a go at column 2. But you could also make up some calculations for yourself. I just wanted to put a little bit of progression in there for you. So you might have 38 times by 92, 59. So this is, I'm just choosing some more obscure multiplication tables. That's the only difference between these two. This is focusing on more, number 1 is focusing on the more common multiplication tables. Number 2 is on some more obscure tables. 37. Now what I'm going to do is a little bit more progression, actually get more confident. Now you might do 2 of the first column and think actually really confident with this, try number 2. Is there any difference when we do by 3 digits using an area model? Now we are going to cover this a little bit later, but some of you, I feel like once you've had this extra practice, might be able to do it. So have a go at those. I'm going to zoom in on that so you can pause this if you want to. By all means, you use a calculator, work the answer out properly, because remember, there are no points for getting all of these correct. This is about you understanding the maths, so it's really going to help us later on.